And we are recording. Hello there. Usually, since COVID started, I've been occasionally doing text updates as far as how we're doing, I guess, general updates as far as what our plans going forward are. And I thought it'd be, interesting to do this via video. I don't know why, just to try a different change of pace. Also, I can share a beer with you in spirit, dear listener, if anyone happens to watch this. I've typed out a few questions. I would say, yeah, every week we get asked at least a handful of these questions. So I have five sort of pre-typed out, and we'll just kind of roll through them and have a drink and sort of give you a state of the Sapphire. That's why I've typed a state of the Sapphire, September 2020. Here you go. Oh, that's good. It's a leftover Conway's Irish Ale from the St. Patrick's Day that wasn't. Okay, number one. When are you opening? The most common question we get asked. This is probably gonna be a little bit like a long one. I don't want to get like political or scientific. It's not the forum for that. But I will say one of the things that I enjoy about this space, that I've come to enjoy about the parlor, is the breadth of people that we get in to play games. One example of that being we get not only one, but a handful of families that are literally grandchild, parent, and grandparents, all coming into play together. It's pretty cool. Not only that, but we have, a variety of, people, all walks of life, all manner of health and stuff like that. And while I obviously I love the breadth of that, the downside of that is there are people that are apparently vulnerable. I'm judging just from what the scientific stuff that we've that I know and that we've heard. And not only that, but specifically some more than a handful of people that are confirmed like immunocompromised, have immune deficiencies and stuff like that. Just because of that, that's been our ongoing decision to stay closed until all this stuff sort of settles down. If we were just, say, a card shop or just a board game shop, where the majority of our clientele were, teenagers or 20s just coming, looking to throw down and play Magic or just purchase some stuff and head out or something like that, maybe we'd just be normally opened. But because of the nature of this place, both in the breadth of people that come to play and also in the nature of the games, the nature of this place is sitting very close together, sometimes with strangers, all playing the same game that potentially 40 people have touched just that day, if it's a very popular game and it's a busy day. That is a level of risk that we don't necessarily want to shore off onto people. And I know there's an argument to be made for, will they adopt it if they show up or whatever, but we don't want to bear any sort of even minuscule amount of responsibility for perpetuate a problem, even if it, means we hurt for a while financially. So that's been our position. That's been our stance. Probably one we're going to continue to keep. So hopefully we're at least over halfway through the stretch. I think my current, originally it was a fair estimate. Now maybe it's an optimistic estimate, is hopefully spring of 2021, things will have settled down. There'll be some kind of answers floating around that make people a little safer. But that's good. Until that point, that's our stance. I apologize if you disagree, but that's where we're coming from. It's an honest answer. So, that's number one. Number two is, are you doing okay? I assume I could have phrased that better. Is the business doing okay? Is a frequent question we get. We're doing, okay is probably a good word to do with it. I'm not going to lie and say we're thriving. The majority of our business is in store. It's people coming to drink coffee, more recently drink alcohol, hang out, and play games in the shop. So without that, obviously that's a significant portion of our revenue. However, people have been helping us out with, we have our game rental packages that we have online, and we have retail sales still by appointment right now. So with those things, we've been able to sort of limp by, bleed, but not bleed out. And we're doing, I'll just say okay. If we weren't doing at least okay, it's now 6 months into the pandemic, so we would probably not be here if we weren't at least doing okay. So with your help and support, which obviously I'm very grateful for, we're continuing to hang in there. So we'll go with okay. We're doing okay, and if things continue as they are for now, we should be able to see our way to the end of COVID. Here's that. Okay. I actually don't remember what the third question is, so this will be an interesting one. Oh yeah, okay. How does the restaurant closing affect you? If you don't know, Main Street Grill, the owner of Main Street Grill, unfortunately had to part ways with the restaurant. Understandably, it's a rough time, a much rougher time for a restaurant than it is for here. We have obviously things we can fall back on. A restaurant, not so much on. I can't go into details on what the plans are for the downstairs space, but I can say that I'm extremely confident that there will be another restaurant. It may keep the same name. I don't know the details and everything like that, but there will be food operating downstairs before we're even looking to open again. That appears to be what the current plan is, like that, almost to a certainty. For all purposes, as far as I can tell, they're perfectly fine with continuing something there. The menu would change, obviously, but food could continue to be served in the parlor, in addition to obviously coffee, baked goods, and alcohol, beer and wine and stuff. So the restaurant closing is, it's unfortunate, but changes the way of life, and I think we can adapt with it. So I don't foresee that being a huge issue, especially since we're not open right now anyway. So we'll see in the coming weeks and months what that looks like, but that's where we're at with it. We're optimistic. We're adaptable. We'll change with it. Next. Oh man, I don't even remember what I typed at this point. So what are our current plans? Okay. What are our plans, I suppose, until we can open, until it seems safe enough to? For now, we're gonna sort of continue with the rentals. If you wanna rent a game from our library of near 500 games, shoot us a message. If you want to purchase a game, perfectly fine too. At the moment, it's by appointment. I'm thinking, and this is not a firm thing yet, but the closer we get to the holiday season, maybe I'll open it up to obviously coming in masked for a set number of hours. Not necessarily having to make an appointment. If you're out sort of making impromptu holiday shopping and stuff like that, then maybe we can accommodate that, and we'll expand our inventory more. If you don't know, we've expanded our retail options a little bit. We're sort of into, since people can't sit here anyway right now, we have some games, sort of newer stuff on the tables as well as the shelves. So that's our current plans. Holiday shopping going forward. We also, and this is sort of in flux, but we'll be making a game soon. It's sort of odd and different. We have a designer that we've signed paperwork with. We have an artist. If you've watched any FX animated shows like Archer, you might have seen her work before. But we'll be making, it's going to be a light trick-taking game. This is not near future, maybe not distant future, midterm future. It probably doesn't even bear mentioning right now, but we have a game that we intend to crowdfund in the works. It's been a project to do while we've been closed for regular business. So it's going to be a light trick-taking game, but other than that, I don't want to go into too many details. But that's our current plans as a business. And then, what was the last thing? Are you playing any games? Yes. Video games and board games. I don't want to go into video games because that's irrelevant. It's League of Legends. Just a spoiler. I play too much of that. But as far as board games go, Jess and I have been playing almost exclusively Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion for the last month and a half. Maybe like month and a half. We're about not quite halfway, a little less than halfway through, I believe. No, maybe more like a third through. I am playing, I think it's called a Crimson Guard. My name is Hornsby McSickleface, and I'm kind of a big deal in the town of Gloomhaven at this point. People know me. When it's time to pay up money, they just do it. I don't have to ask questions. I don't have to throw down the sickle anymore. And Jess is playing, what is her name? Delilah? She's playing a Void Warden, and that's an interesting class. So if you're not familiar with Jaws of the Lion, Gloomhaven, we'll back it up. Very, very brief tales. Gloomhaven was a game that came out 3 years ago at this point, maybe 4. Massive, huge campaign style, sprawling campaign. It's expensive. You get your money's worth, but it's expensive, and it's also a very, very, very big time commitment. I think there's somewhere between 100 and 120 scenarios. It's something 3 to 4 people could realistically play for a year weekly, which is obviously that's great for some people, not great for everyone. What I like is about Jaws of the Lion is it's Gloomhaven shrunk down into a more digestible thing. There's 4 characters to choose from. There's, I think, a maximum of 25 scenarios, and it's half as expensive, less than half as expensive, I think. Maybe half as expensive? I don't know. Cheaper. So that is the selling point of Jaws of the Lion Gloomhaven. Almost an introduction to Gloomhaven. It's like baby steps, but it's still very engaging, very entertaining, and more my pace right now with, having kids and all that stuff. So, that's what I've been playing. Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, Hornsby McSickleface. Big deal. That's what I've been playing. And that is the extent of my questions. So that is enough of my rambling. I have another half a beer to finish up and choke on. I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. What is it? Like, subscribe, something on Facebook, something on YouTube. I don't care. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just give us a holler.